Hi, I'm Annie Kinnett Nichols, and I work at OLLI at Emory, and I'm here today to introduce you to Roy Sobelson. He's a new instructor for us. Hello, Roy.
Hello, how are you, Annie?
Great, great. Can you tell us a little bit about the class you're going to be teaching in October, the history of the American common law system?
Sure. Let me tell you first just a little about myself so you'll have a little bit of context. I'm a recently retired law school professor. I taught at Georgia State for well over 30 years. I've taught at Emory several times, and I've taught abroad in Hungary, Austria, Poland, Iran at one point, but that's another story, and a few places. And I mention that partly because of what I'm going to mention talk about in the course. So let me explain the course. The course is really about the common law, and in particular, it's about its history, its development, its methodology, and its philosophy, really. And when I use the word common law, what I'm referring to is the tradition of the way we make and interpret law that we got primarily from England, starting around the time of the Norman conquest. And the reason I say that is because, or mention that, is because obviously there was law long before that. And most of the law that we have gotten from England actually started to grow apart from the law that had come from Rome long before that. So in the world, we really have two basic legal traditions. We have common law traditions, which are common in the countries like ours, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, India, those countries that have a long connection to England. But most of the world, we're a small minority. Most of the world has what we call the civil law tradition. And when I say civil law, I'm not here referring to the difference between civil law and criminal law. That's relevant, but that's not what I mean. What I'm talking about is the law that developed in Rome and stayed all throughout Europe, mostly throughout Africa, and mostly through Asia. So almost all of the world, except for us, has what we would call civil law systems, while we have a common law system. So what I'm going to do in this course is really two things. Number one, I'm going to talk about how these two systems started and compare them a good bit to one another, and then end up spending more time talking specifically about the common law system, and then more particularly the American common law system. And I hope to end it up with some stories and some cases and some things that are unique to the American common law system, and go from there. You don't need any background in law. As a matter of fact, this is more history than it is law. So that's it.
Well, that sounds exciting. Thanks for taking your time today, and
Sure.
we shall see you soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Annie.
You're welcome.